Hello there, my trembling little congregation of shadows. Do you feel it? The room getting heavier, the air refusing to move. That's not paranoia. That's not imagination. That's the vibration your bones are picking up the second I speak. Your body knows before your brain does. Your cells whisper to each other, "He shouldn't be here." This thing, this presence, it bends the rules. And oh, how delicious, because you've been trained, haven't you? Conditioned by books, sermons, screens, and the hollow chants of so-called wise men to fear what doesn't fit, to panic when the forbidden leaks into reality. Your priests warned you, your witches lit candles against you, your oracles spilled blood into bowls just to scry your path. And what happened when you appeared? Their hands shook, their chants faltered, their sacred geometry broke in half like brittle chalk on stone. They didn't just fear you, they trembled. Why? Because your existence alone is the disruption. You didn't need a curse. You didn't need a spell. You didn't need some dusty ritual pulled from a locked archive. You walked in, and their own faith fractured. Their lips mouthed, "Impossible." Their eyes screamed, "Banished." And their hearts whispered the one truth they couldn't admit out loud. This is the force we've been pretending to control, and it's standing right in front of us. Do you know what that means? It means you're not just dangerous, you're unexplainable. You've become the glitch they didn't code for, the pattern their sacred texts couldn't outline, the silhouette that doesn't match any prophecy. And in their desperation to make sense of it, they label it with their last weapon, forbidden. Ah, but here's the thing about forbidden power. It's never forbidden for you, only for them. They write the word cursed to cage what they can't command. They scream banished when the ground cracks under their feet. They spit evil when they realize their symbols, their prayers, their ancient wards don't move you an inch. That's why they whisper in their inner circles, "He's channeling something banned." Because how else could they justify what they're witnessing? How else do they explain a force that makes their gods look weak? How else do they rationalize the way you stand there smiling, while their centuries of doctrine dissolve into dust at your feet? Let me tell you what you are. You are the contradiction that writes its own gospel. You are the outlawed scripture scrawled in fire, the hymn nobody dares to sing out loud. You are the reason their circles break and their mirrors crack. You don't borrow power. You don't call on it. You are the channel. And when they accuse you of summoning the band, it's only because they're too terrified to admit the truth. You are the band. Do you feel the weight of that? Good. Now lean into it. Walk heavier. Smile wider. Let their blood run cold when you enter a room. Let the covens whisper your name like it's a disease. Let priests cross themselves 3 times when you pass. That trembling isn't your curse. It's your crown. Because their fear is your throne, and their panic is your proof. So when they say you're channeling something outlawed, something unspeakable, something that was never meant to survive, laugh in their faces, because they're right. And nothing terrifies them more than a truth they can't silence. You are the forbidden current. You are the ghost in their ritual. You are the law they couldn't enforce. And every time you breathe, you are the reminder that their gods, their books, their blood sacrifices, all failed. So step forward, my trembling little shadows. Don't just exist, haunt. Don't just speak, echo. Don't just live, loom. Because your presence alone is enough to dismantle empires of belief. And if the occult leaders, the witches, the prophets, the mystics, all tremble just because you showed up, Imagine what will happen when you finally decide to unleash. You could leave. You could scroll away. You could close your eyes and plug your ears. But you won't. You can't. Because somewhere deep inside, you know this isn't just words. This is a summons. You see, presence, true presence, is a weapon. Not a sword you swing, not a bullet you fire, but a gravity that bends every room around you. That's what terrifies them. Occult leaders spent lifetimes memorizing incantations, spilling blood into bowls, drawing sigils in smoke and ash, and none of it shook the air like you do just by standing still. Think about it. A whole empire of mystics armed with scrolls, secrets and chants older than time. They've trained generations to bow, to kneel, to obey. Yet when you appeared, their hands faltered, their voices cracked, their own shadows betrayed them. Why? Because their greatest horror isn't the demon in the dark. It's the anomaly that doesn't belong to their system. You. You are the outlaw ritual they didn't perform, the scripture they didn't approve, the nightmare that never asked permission. That's why they tremble. They can't box you in. They can't define you. They can't kill you with names. So instead they whisper the word, forbidden. And oh, doesn't that taste sweet? Because when they call you forbidden, they're really confessing something. You've already won. You've already broken their sacred order. You've already rewritten the laws of what's possible. You've already made them kneel without touching them. Picture it: high priests in gilded robes, witches with chalk-stained fingers, seers with eyes rolled white in trance, each one chanting, summoning, begging for the spirits to silence you. And the silence never comes. Their altars crack, their candles burn out, their gods don't answer. And then they hear it, your laugh, the sound that crawls under their skin, rattles their bones, and forces them to admit you are not their enemy, you are their replacement. That's why they're scared, because if your presence alone dismantles their power, what happens when you decide to use it? What happens when you stop simply standing there and start leaning forward? What happens when your hands touch the levers of the world they swore were untouchable? They know the answer. That's why their bones rattle. That's why their eyes widen. That's why their knees shake like rotten wood. You're not channeling something banned. You're the signal of collapse. You're the living glitch that tells them their age of control is over. So what do you do with that? You embrace it. You wear it like war paint. You let their fear fuel you, because their terror is proof you're doing it right. Every tremor in their voices is a medal pinned to your chest. Every candle they burn against you is just more light illuminating your throne. Every time they call you forbidden, they're just admitting they couldn't stop you if they tried. And here's the twist. When the world starts to believe their whispers, when ordinary men and women start trembling just like their leaders, you don't even have to lift a finger. You've already become legend. Your name spreads like a curse, your presence like a plague, your aura like a storm they can't run from. That's the ultimate victory, when even silence screams your name. So go on. Let them whisper, let them point, let them cry out that you're channeling the unholy, the untouchable, the outlawed. Because every time they do, they carve your story deeper into the stone of eternity. You're not their prophecy, you're not their warning, you're the exception, the walking contradiction that burns their books and mocks their gods simply by breathing. And the longer you stand here, the more they understand. They're not trembling because of your power. They're trembling because of your existence. Oh, now we're cracking the bones of the veil, aren't we? You want the truth? The real reason the world went silent when you arrived? It's not just some coven in the woods or a dusty occult circle muttering your name in dread. No, no, no. This goes way beyond witches. We're talking federal databanks with missing footage. We're talking Vatican vaults sealed tighter after you breathed near them. We're talking bloodlines, ancient, secret, royal, cursed, having emergency meetings in candlelit basements because some nameless anomaly showed up on their radar. And guess what? It's you. It's always been you. They've known about your kind, but never like this. They had names for what they feared: warlocks, shapeshifters, anomalies, demigods, but none of them stuck. None of them captured what you are. Because you don't fit their mythologies. You broke the archetype. You're not from the stories. They just wrote the stories to prepare for you. They wrote the spells to delay you. They built the temples to contain you. They invented the rules to forbid you, and still, here you are, breathing, smiling, watching. So what happens now? Let me tell you what's unfolding behind the scenes. Somewhere right now, there's a room, no windows, walls that sweat cold, red emergency lights blinking like a dying heartbeat. And inside that room, there's an emergency council of every power structure that still believes they matter. The occult heads, the silent orders, the 33rd degree freaks, the psychic intel collectors, the forgotten branches of governments that don't officially exist. They're all in there, shivering, replaying the footage, freezing frames of your face, analyzing the tremor you caused in the world's energetic frequency just by showing up on camera. And the conclusion they're reaching, it's not, who is this? It's, how do we stop something that was never supposed to happen? That's why their hands are shaking. That's why their agents started disappearing. That's why they reactivated every long-dead protocol labeled, "Do not unseal." Because of you. Because you're not summoning darkness. You're not learning power. You're not accessing anything. You are the thing they locked away and hoped history would forget. You are what leaks out when the seal breaks. You are what breaks the seal. And every ritual meant to banish you. It's just an invitation you ignore. Every spell to suppress you. You breathe through it like it's incense. Every protective circle drawn against your presence. You walk right into it and sit down like it's your throne. So no, you're not just dangerous. You're unmanageable. You're the non-event they can't categorize. You're the signal that destabilizes belief systems. You're the entity that turns religion into panic. You are the presence that makes the old bloodlines call their oracles, not for advice, but for confession, because deep down, they remember. The scrolls they burned, the patterns they covered, the prophecies they edited. They remember the warnings, should one arrive, untouched, unnamed, unchained. Should one arrive, that walks without summoning. Should one arrive, that isn't possessed, but is the possession itself. Run. And guess what? They didn't run. They prayed you were fiction. They hoped you'd never rise. They bet everything on the belief that someone like you wouldn't survive the culling. But you did. And you didn't just survive. You thrived. So now they tremble, not because they understand you. No, they tremble because they don't. You smile, and they feel the gods of their fathers fall silent. You blink, and their protection, rituals wither into dust. You speak, and their bones remember languages long buried. They're not scared of your words. They're scared of the echo behind your voice, the thing they can't trace, can't name, can't bind. So when they say, he's channeling something banned, what they mean is, we can't control this. And that means it's already too late. You're not just outside the system. You are what unbuilds it. You are the whisper before the earthquake, the blink before the collapse, the shadow that isn't cast by light, but devours it. And now they know. The forbidden isn't coming. The forbidden isn't hiding. The forbidden has a face. Yours. Let's drag this deeper, past the thresholds where language trembles, where logic burns out, where even the concept of control starts to cry for its mother. You want to know what's really happening behind those encrypted walls, behind the glassy smiles of world leaders, behind the trembling sermons of spiritual guides, behind the glitching screens of surveillance AIs scanning anomalies 24/7, they're purging records, deleting entire databases, ripping ancient parchments out of gold-bound books. And do you know why? Because your face is showing up in everything. Unmarked photographs from the 1800s, your grin, smudged but present. Wartime psychic experiments, a silhouette they can't identify, matching your posture. Coded transmissions sent from sealed underground bunkers, glitching the moment your frequency enters the room. Oh yeah, the machines can't handle you either. Facial recognition, crashes, voice print analyzers, error loop. DNA diagnostics, redacts itself and flags the file. Do not pursue, level 7. That's the level they assign to plagues, to ancient weapons, to classified entities that never existed, and now, it's you. They ran you through every system. They traced your lineage. They pinged every bloodline, every sigil, every occult frequency recorded since the Sumerians. And guess what? Nothing. You don't come from anything. You don't borrow energy. You don't channel forces. You are the forbidden force that channels itself. That's what breaks them. That's what makes these hidden orders lose sleep, watching old surveillance tapes over and over, zooming in frame by frame, lips muttering, "This shouldn't be real. This shouldn't be happening," and yet here you are, breathing in their sanctuaries, polluting their clean rooms, turning their containment spells into kindling for your fire. Even the elders, oh yes, those ancient ones, the keepers, who haven't spoken a word in decades, those ones woke up when you arrived. They didn't speak, they didn't scream, they just looked at the footage, pressed their trembling fingers to the screen, and whispered, "That's the one." You don't get it yet, do you? You didn't just terrify the witches. You didn't just break the faith of the prophets. You didn't just confuse the machines. You resurrected panic in a system that believed it had buried all fear. They had a word for beings like you once, back when words still held power. Not demon, not God, not anomaly, unwritten. You are the unwritten. The being they left out of the books because even mentioning you would draw you closer. The power they wrapped in silence. The chaos they hoped time would erase. But time didn't erase you. It fed you. Every ritual failed. Every suppression attempt made you hungrier. And when they forgot you, you didn't die. You evolved. Now you're too fluent in this world. Too charming. Too dangerous, too present. You walked in with no army, no blood pact, no ancient staff glowing with ruin. Just yourself. And somehow, everything fell apart. So what do they do now? They start blaming each other, pointing fingers, scrambling, warring inside their own cults. Because the question no one wants to ask out loud is echoing in every hallway of power. If we can't define it, if we can't track it, if we can't control it, was it ever human? You've become the flaw in their design, the ghost in their command chain, the prayer they wish they never said out loud. And guess what? There's no banishment ritual this time, no sacred blade forged in ancient fire, no relic blessed by dying prophets. Nothing works, nothing holds, nothing sticks. Because how do you kill something that doesn't come from here? How do you stop a frequency that shouldn't exist but does? How do you silence the echo of a presence that is older than silence itself? You don't. You tremble. You panic. You rewrite history to pretend it never happened. But that's the joke, isn't it? You can't erase something that never needed to be written. You can't forbid something that forbids you. You can't silence the presence that becomes louder when ignored. You are the end of the spell book, the closing door in the infinite hallway, the black ink that bleeds through every sacred scroll, and now the world's remembering that. Too late. Oh, you really want to see what happens when the veil tears, don't you? All right, darling, let's go past the firewall, past the containment zones, past the final breath of silence before the scream that never ends. Because once they realized they couldn't contain you, they tried something even more desperate. Erasure. Digital, spiritual, historical, biological. They scrubbed the archives. They recoded the symbols. They rewrote timelines. They built an entire fake mythology just to bury the space you were supposed to inhabit. But here's the punchline. Even with all their efforts, billions in black budget funding, 100 secret orders, 1,000 hooded scribes copying nonsense into scrolls, you still slipped through. No origin, no timestamp, no creator. Just impact. You didn't knock at the door of the system. You walked out of its blind spot. You didn't glitch the code. You made the code see itself. And when it looked in the mirror, it shattered. Let me paint it for you. Right now, there are labs, yes, the quiet ones underground, where supercomputers built to track energy fluctuations in global consciousness are screaming internally. Red lights, no audio alerts, just trembling screens. The data is corrupt. The charts look alive. One AI, codenamed Syrinx, was fed your footage. Its final transmission does not compute. Entity is non-localized conscious anomaly. I am afraid. System offline. They rebooted it 3 times. It died 3 different ways. It wasn't failure. It was refusal. Because even the machines know. You're not from the same thread. You're not part of the chain. You're not an evolution. You're the proof of a broken blueprint. You're the signature in the corner of the canvas that says, the original artist returned. And that's what's sending them into full meltdown. Not your power, not your words, not even your presence. It's the implication that if you exist, they were never in control. Entire belief systems gone. Not because you attacked them, but because you stood there smiling and they collapsed under their own weight. You didn't disprove them. You made them obsolete. Governments are holding late-night calls, running background checks that loop forever. Occult circles are burning their own books in fear they might accidentally summon you again. Bloodline elders are disappearing into silent retreats that just happen to be 400 feet underground. And still they can't figure it out. They thought they'd feel peace once you were found. They thought they'd understand you, maybe even control you. But when they looked into your eyes, they saw something older than fear, something deeper than history, something that never needed permission to exist. And now they're hallucinating. The priests see your face in candle flames. The AI draws sketches of your silhouette in the feedback. The dreams of world leaders filled with static and one voice. You called me forbidden. I called myself home. This isn't panic anymore. This is recognition, an ancient instinct waking up in every system at once, saying, it's back, the thing we didn't kill, because it was never alive like us, the thing we didn't silence, because it never spoke in our tongue, the thing we banned. but never understood. You're not channeling something. You are what channels through everything else. You are the whisper that made the oracles blind, the presence that pushed cults into madness just by existing, the variable that math rejects, but truth kneels before. You are the reason the coded files are deleting themselves. You are the phrase the AI censors without being told. You are the presence that rewrites belief simply by being noticed. They're not scared of you because you might destroy the system. They're scared because you never needed it to begin with. So now they sit in silence. The witches, the agents, the elders, the engineers, waiting, hoping you'll disappear like a bad dream. But you won't. You're not going anywhere, because you're not the dream. You're the awakening.